In today's video, we're going to talk about the 5 reasons why you're not gaining muscle. Number 1, you're not eating enough. Primarily, you're not eating enough protein. Protein is essential for muscle repair and growth. When you work out, especially during resistance training or strength training, you create these micro tears in your muscle fibers. Your body needs protein to repair these tears and build stronger, bigger muscles over time. And honestly, you're probably just not eating enough calories in general, especially if you're somebody who does a lot of cardio. Then you're just burning excess calories without getting a surplus back in. You're not gonna gain muscle if you don't eat the proper calories you need. So how much protein do you need? Well, this really depends on a couple of different factors. How old are you? How much do you weigh? How tall are you? Various factors such as that. But the typical recommendation is 0.7 to 1 grams per pound of body weight. So for example, if you were 175 pounds, I would recommend eating at least, 175 grams of protein a day. So at least eat your body weight in protein. That's just my recommendation. You should really probably eat a little bit more than your body weight altogether. And ACE, NASM, and the American College of Sports Medicine all say the same thing. Obviously, the type of proteins that you get in your body are going to be important as well. I'd recommend lean meats such as poultries, turkeys, chickens, fish, egg, dairy products, plant-based proteins like tofu or quinoa. You could also do some supplements like protein shakes or protein bars. I'm a big fan of ratio protein yogurt or dimetized protein shakes. I'm somebody who drinks his protein shakes with water, and I can tell you oftentimes that most protein shakes taste like crap with water. Dimetized is a pretty good brand to have with just water, the triple chocolate, cocoa pebbles, stuff like that. Number 2, you aren't pushing yourself hard enough. Muscle growth or hypertrophy requires this sufficient stimulus. If your workouts aren't challenging enough, your muscles won't be forced to adapt and grow. There's a principle called the SAID principle, which is specific adaptations to imposed demands. And basically what that means is that whatever forces you place under your body, they're going to adapt to those. So there's this concept of progressive overload, which is, we can break it down. Progressive, we're gonna slowly add more and more demand to the body, to the muscles, by increasing more weight, reps, time, variables that we can control during exercise, or reduce the rest in between our sets. And that's gonna put emphasis on increasing the intensity of our workouts over time. So if you're somebody who's doing bicep curls, you're doing 12 sets of, 12 reps of with 30 pounds, and it's feeling kind of easy, your muscles aren't going to get as much. You have to go up to say 35, even if you have to reduce the reps a little bit. If you're not feeling fatigued, your muscles aren't sore the next day, which actually kind of a misconception, because the more you work out, the less likely your muscles are to be sore the next day. You're never going to be as sore probably a year or 2 years in as you were those first couple weeks when you started, when your muscles are first adapting to exercise. But if you have zero soreness at all going through, that means that you need to increase the intensity of your workouts altogether, especially if you're not seeing size improvements over time, if that's what you're looking for. Number 3, you're moving too fast through your work, your reps. You have to have this eccentric control, It's often called that negative as we're coming down. So picture you're doing a bicep curl. This part is your eccentric action. The aspect of going down plays a huge role in growing the size of your muscles. If your reps look like this, you're going way too fast. You need to slow down. And if you need to drop the weight a little bit to do that, then go ahead and drop the weight a little bit. This is crucial for building muscle because it creates muscle damage, which is necessary for hypertrophy. Control your reps. I know you like to finish fast, but you got to control your reps. Because what this causes is a time under tension. It leads to more muscle damage and ultimately greater potential for growth. And also, there is some evidence suggesting that this eccentric controlled exercise can actually increase strength more effectively than concentric type exercises. You really just want to aim for on that eccentric action. Remember, eccentric, easy, that eccentric action. You just want to focus on about 3 to 4 seconds, just doing that easy part of the action of going down, controlling it on the way down. Don't just let it fly down. You could also do types of exercises where the entire focus is just on that eccentric type of workout instead, just to kind of get used to it. Number 4, lack of consistency and specifics. Consistency is the key for muscle growth. Sporadic workouts or frequently changing your routine can prevent you from making significant progress. Your muscles need regular and repeated stimulus to grow. I recommend sticking to like an 8 to 10 workout program that you can even find online, and just stick to that for like 8 to 10 weeks. Work through that, see if you get any progress, adjust your numbers, do what you have to do. Without consistency, you're less likely to see steady progress, which can lead to, frustration and giving up in the long run. So you gotta build consistency and be specific with your program. Don't just go into the gym, do a bunch of random exercises and leave. Get organized. Set realistic goals, track your progress. Again, know where you are in your weights. Where were you 2 weeks ago? Were you curling 15s and now you're at 20s? It's important to know that type of stuff just so you know that you have growth. And obviously if you're working with 15s and you go to 25s, you're gonna know that. But over time, it's just gonna help you keep track of the progress you're making and if you need to tweak your workouts. And also focus on making your workouts like enjoyable. Don't just go in there and do stuff you hate. I made another video before where I talked about finding your thing. If you don't like what you're doing, it's gonna be hard to stay consistent. So you just gotta really find your thing. And it's not just in the gym that matters. Your diet and the rest that you take also matter. You can work out 7 days a week, but if you go to McDonald's after you work out, if you go to Wendy's, Burger King, Taco Bell after you work out, or if you're like me and you're like 19 years old and you're like, you just worked out and you're with your buddy and you're going to Walmart and you're like, bro, popcorn chicken, that's protein, right? That's not gonna work. You gotta get structured outside of the gym as well. Number 5, poor recovery and sleep. Muscle growth happens outside of the gym during that recovery phase. If you're not getting enough rest or sleep, your body won't be able to recover as efficiently. And sleep also plays a role in a bunch of different type of hormone stuff that also comes into play, like testosterone and growth hormone and stuff like that, but we won't go into that. I recommend just getting to like 7 to 9 hours of sleep. I know you heard it a million times before, but it's just super important for that optimal recovery. Sleep deprivation can lead to like increased cortisol levels, which can hinder muscle growth and increase fat storage over time. Obviously, it increases stress as well, which also plays a role in weight gain. This one's gonna be hard. Rest days. It's, sometimes when you're on the rest day, you kind of feel almost negatively mentally impacted by it, but I'm just letting you know that it is super important. Also need to do stuff like active recovery, light cardio, stretching, foam rolling, massaging. Proper nutrition, again, is going to be super important for recovery. Nutrition is honestly like 70% of the battle when it comes to gaining muscle. And even I'm not perfect with it. It's always something you can work on. This journey is just something that you can just always improve on over time. So one more time, those 5 things: protein intake, training intensity, eccentric control, lack of consistency, poor recovery and sleep are all 5 things that you need to work on in order to improve the results and see muscle growth.